Obviously, some busy times over there, but a big announcement today in the meeting between President Obama and President Xi. This is the second meeting in as many years where there's been a big climate announcement at the end of the meeting or during the meeting. I know you've been deeply involved in that, but I guess my question is, China commits to having a national cap-and-trade system by 2017. I don't think there's any chance the U.S. is going to be able to follow suit just based on the facts on the ground. Is the U.S., in your eyes, kind of a hindrance to some of the momentum heading into Paris?
Oh, absolutely not. I think it's, in fact, the opposite. I think what you're seeing today is the result of when the United States actually steps up and leads on an issue, other countries around the world, including China, lead as well. I think you guys are familiar with the Clean Power Plan that the President announced just a little over a month ago, and that's the single largest step that any president has taken on climate, and it will cap emissions in our domestic power sector. What you saw today was China laid out its approach to its domestic power sector and other sectors of its economy. And I think that part of the reason why you're seeing China move forward is their confidence that the United States is leading and the United States is committed to hitting the goals we've set out as well.
One other thing on this, I think, the idea has been, or at least when we were in Beijing in November, that China coming along with this would drag India along, would drag other countries along. Do you sense going into Paris that kind of the united front on some level between the U.S. and China is going to lead to a big international agreement, and kind of how do you handicap what we're going to see in December?
Well, look, the announcement between the U.S. and China last November was a big breakthrough. And since that time, we've seen countries that represent about 75% of global emissions put forward their post-2020 targets. So we've made a lot of progress. There are still some countries, you mentioned India, and others that I expect will put forward their emissions targets later this year in the run-up to Paris. But we've seen a lot of progress. That said, we still have a ways to go, and part of what this announcement today between the U.S. and China was about was trying to further lay the groundwork between our two countries to say where are our areas of commonality and how do we see an agreement actually taking shape. And so I think the announcement today is another important step. We got a lot of work yet to do, but I think we have a solid foundation to work from.
Well, Brian, you've been part of President Obama's team from the start, and as such, you've spent a lot of time dealing with budget issues, and you know as well as anyone that even though House Speaker John Boehner is on the other side of the ideological spectrum, he's been someone who the president has seen as a pretty straight shooter. What is his departure now going to do in terms of the president's ability to get things done, whether it's, let's say, cap and trade or any policy that involves, major U.S. policy, domestic policy?
Well, look, for starters, I would say the president spoke about Speaker Boehner earlier today, and I would just echo that he's an honorable man and somebody who has served his country in an honorable way. And one of the things about John Boehner is that while we disagree on issues across the board, he also understands that we do need to compromise. We do need to find common ground, and that's particularly true when it comes to issues that affect our economy. And so, we will see what happens in the House and see what happens in terms of their changes to the leadership structure. But certainly our hope and our expectation that as we move forward, the party and its leadership will recognize the importance of not playing games that would put our economic recovery at risk. Having the Chinese here and seeing, the final second quarter GDP numbers today just only reinforces that the United States economy is showing continued durable growth, and the last thing we can afford right now is self-inflicted wounds. So we hope that we will have partners in Congress that will understand that and reflect that going forward.
Brian, a lot of serious issues on the table, obviously, when you're meeting with Chinese officials, but we are a politics show, and we just have to ask the question, when you're sitting behind closed doors in these negotiations, hard negotiations, late at night, do they ever ask what the heck is up with Donald Trump?
You know, I haven't had those conversations, which is not to say that they've never taken place. You know, look, I will say that the climate announcement that we put forward today was the result of a lot of hard work over the last several months. And one of the things that I think is positive about our relationship is that having identified our two countries' commitment to lead on this issue, we now do have a very strong relationship. We don't agree on everything. The negotiations are very hard and very tough, but we have channels that we can make real progress with, and I think that the announcement today is a reflection of that. But we'll see whether we have more domestic politics conversations with them going forward.
Brian Deese, we know that you have to go soon because you have a state dinner to get ready for and some tuxedo pants to pick up. Is that right? Other than getting your outfit ready, can you talk to us a little bit about what it's like to attend a state dinner, what you're looking the most forward to tonight, and is there one etiquette faux pas you try to avoid as you think ahead to the night?
Well, first things first, you want to have a tuxedo before you go. So I'm going to go pick mine up now. But look, they're extraordinary opportunities, and I'm very fortunate to get to attend. Last time I took my mom, and that was quite a trip. But this time, my wife and I will be attending.
I know things have been really crazy over there, so we really appreciate you taking the time. Good luck at the dinner tonight. No major faux pas, and please no international incidents.